Hey you guys, it's your girl T. So as you know, me and the boys went yesterday to go see the new X-Men movie called X-Men Futures Past. And a lot of you guys wanted me to do a review on camera as opposed to writing it out on Facebook. I had written out this whole review on Facebook, but folks were still like, do a review on YouTube. I haven't done a movie review in a while, so I was like, you know what the heck, it's still fresh in my mind. So I had a really good time yesterday going to go see the movie with the boys. I really enjoyed myself. As you guys know, I'm a huge Marvel fan. I'm a huge fan of the X-Men. I've been watching the X-Men since I was like in 3rd grade. I've seen every X-Men cartoon series. My kids have all the video games. They have all the, action figures and everything else. So I'm a huge X-Men fan. And I've been waiting for a while for this movie to come out. Devin has been posting all the trailers. Every time there's a new trailer, something updated, Devin posts on my Facebook page and I share it with you all. So we have been patiently waiting for this movie, and yesterday I got to see it, and I can honestly say this was one of the best X-Men movies since X-Men United. So there was a lot of talking, there was a lot of dialogue, like I said, on Facebook, but the action scenes, the graphics were just so on point. I feel like Bryan Singer really outdid himself. He must have been really reading the comment sections on different forums and coming onto YouTube and taking a lot of people's opinions into consideration, because this entire script was well written. Even if you didn't keep it with the series, even if you're not a huge X-Men fan, you're still going to appreciate all the work and everything that they put into this movie. So I think the best part of the movie was with my husband, Quicksilver. Like I said on Facebook, that is my new boo. I have an official new superhero that I love. The character of Quicksilver in that movie was on point. He was just so funny. He was witty, and I mean, it was just so many things that he was doing in that movie that just had me cracking up. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, so I'm not going to go into details, but just his actions in that movie, just his fight scene alone was so creative. It was so over the top. It's something that you would not have expected, and I think just the fight scene alone is enough to make you want to go see that movie. Quicksilver's fight scene was seriously one of the best fight scenes I've seen in any of these series. I really enjoyed it, and like I said, he had a lot of charisma. He was just so funny, and the fact that they were able to go find him and use him to help them out, I really enjoyed that fact. And Hugh Jackman, oh my goodness, ladies, in the movie, Hugh Jackman actually shows his ass. And when I seen that little scene, when I seen that clip, I was like, yes, bitch, yes. My soldier boy voice. I was excited. I love Hugh Jackman. His muscles were on point this movie. So ladies, you guys will not be disappointed. And we got an extra treat this time around, getting a chance to see him naked from the back. I really enjoyed that scene. And I just fell out when the mob dudes came in there and they started shooting at him. It's just funny when Wolverine started using his regenerative healing powers and all the bullets were just falling off of his body and the bullet wounds were like healing up. And then like to look at the mob bosses' faces, they're like, like what the hell did we get ourselves into? So it was definitely really cool. I like that part of it. I think the one part that I did not like that made me really sad, as you guys all know, Rogue is one of my favorite characters in X-Men. She's one of my favorite superheroes, period. Her powers are just all that. And I remember as a kid really relating to her, how she felt kind of ostracized and how she was scared to touch anybody, and how, she couldn't keep a boyfriend because she would drain their powers. Like, I love everything about Rogue because her character in the X-Men was just so dynamic, and she was always having those flashbacks to her childhood, and you really felt her pain. So that's why she became one of my favorite characters in the X-Men. And to see her not really shown in this movie, I think she was in there for like 5 seconds, and that was it. I really thought they were going to show more of her. I would have loved to see her in that fight scene with Storm. I really feel like we could have did without Sunspot. I mean, his powers are okay, but I feel like they should have showed Rogue in that fighting scene right along with Storm. I really wish I would have saw more Rogue. I was kind of upset, but they did make up for it because they had Blink in that scene. And Blink, when I tell you her damn teleportation powers are off the damn hook, Blink did the damn thing in this movie. And I know there was a lot of controversy initially. A lot of folks did not want Blink to be a Chinese woman because in the comic series she's not Chinese. So a lot of folks felt some type of way. But I think the girl who played Blink, I think she did a really good job. She put a lot into that character, and I just love watching her, do her different moves and different tricks, and creating all these little portals for them to run through. I thought that part was hot in the movie. I really enjoyed watching Blink, bring her character to light. Once again, Jennifer Lawrence outdid herself in this movie. She outdid herself as Mystique. She definitely put her soul into this role. She definitely did her thing in this movie. I was just really happy to see her, and I think it's really cool how she shapeshifts and everything else. I think my favorite part of the movie was when she turned into that black woman with the big old afro. I was like, yes honey, work it bitch. And then she tried to run and kept falling. I was like, the crowd, she decided to be a black woman with an afro. I about fell out. I was like, yes, honey, do you, boo. Get away by any means necessary, because Magneto was seriously tripping during that damn scene. He pissed me the hell off when he did that shit to her. I'm like, I know he didn't try and hurt my girl. What the hell is that shit about? I'm not really into the Game of Thrones, but, you know, once I heard that Tyrion was going to be playing Professor Task, I was kind of surprised, and I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to pull it off, but he did a phenomenal job. Like, he really did. He is so different from the character that he is on Game of Thrones. I think he did a real good job. He had me pissed off throughout the whole movie. I was just thinking to myself, like, bitch, won't you mind your business? Why are you so worried about the mutants? Why are you trying to mess with them? Why are you trying to kill them? Have they done anything to you personally? I was getting mad, and that's how I knew that, you know what, this man is doing a really good job playing this character, because he got me ready to come up out my seat and fight him. I was so hot watching him play Professor Trask, I'm like, you know what, this little man is just doing too damn much, okay? But he did a really good job throughout the movie. He really put a lot into that role. He definitely has got me interested to watch him now in season 4 of Game of Thrones, because I wasn't sure if I was going to go back to watching Game of Thrones. I'm not really into the show like that. Y'all know I'm more into reality TV, but every now and then if Game of Thrones is on, I will catch it on HBO. Now, one thing I did find really interesting was the whole dynamic between Charles and Magneto. And I loved once, you know, Wolverine went back to the past. It was really interesting to see, like, you know, how they started their friendship and where all their drama came from. Even when I was a kid, I always looked at Professor Xavier as the Martin Luther King of the mutants. And I always looked at Magneto as the Malcolm X. I don't know what it is, but that's how I look at their dynamic. It's like, you know, Professor Xavier is all about peace and trying to understand the humans and giving the humans another chance and trying to find a non-violent way to deal with the humans. Whereas Magneto's like, screw that, I'm not turning the other cheek. If they want to come at me, if they're trying to kill my people, my mutants, we're going to fight back, and we're going to do it by any means necessary. So it was really cool to see that dynamic. Interesting to see him in the future and see how much he had calmed down from his younger self. So I thought that was really a cool dynamic as well. Another thing that kind of bothered me with the movie is I wish that they would have showed more of the future scenes. They had talked about more of the things that were going on in the future. I wish that they would have did a fighting scene with Wolverine and the Sentinels in the future. I mean, the past one, that was okay, but I feel like they should have did more fighting scenes with him, because when they did that major fighting scene in the future, it was so kick-ass, and I'm sitting here like, well, damn, where's Wolverine? Where's Rogue? You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see them there, but unfortunately they weren't there. I do feel like they should have showed more in the future, but with that being said, if they would have done that, it would have made the movie even longer. The movie was long enough. It was about 2.5 hours, I believe. 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. It was a pretty long movie, and I think if they would have put everything into it, it would have been well over 4 hours. So I really enjoyed the movie. Cannot wait for X-Men Apocalypse. 2016 cannot come fast enough. I'm ready to see that, because this movie has me so gassed up. I'm like, damn, I want to see what happens next, what happens in the next chapter. So go ahead, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts on the movie. Did you guys get to go watch X-Men Futures Past? What did you think about it? What was your favorite scene? What was the worst scene? And what did you think about the dynamic between all of the characters in the future and in the past? So go ahead, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. Alright, deuces.